Hey guys, it's that fat worthless piece of shit you all know and love, Name What's going on in today's video? I want to talk about Warframe's weird boss quality. So I'm going to cut to a boss that I actually deem really fun, really engaging, and definitely worth doing. And then I'm going to cut to a boss that I just don't enjoy at all. A boss that is such a boring boss that it shouldn't even be considered a quote-unquote boss.
Yummy. Big peepee.
Then you kind of like a moth to a flame. No, no, no. Yeah! It's just like a car crash. Uh-oh, 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 uh-oh. Cut me some slack. It's been a while. Dude, I just got spawn grabbed. What the fuck? I don't even know if there's anything I can do. Let me down! This boss isn't even that special. This boss is literally just a guy, you know? But they couldn't rework this boss. They haven't reworked this boss. There's no mention of when this boss is going to be reworked in that regard. The tile set's already been reworked, so I'm not even sure if they're going to touch this boss. The boss is known as the Sergeant, as you can see, is the top of my screen. This is just one of the very many lackluster bosses in the game. As you can see, he just got fucking deleted. I wasn't even there. It got deleted by a Master Rank 9 rank. He's not special. He's literally just like... He's basically a Corpus guy like this, just with a special helmet. That's the only difference. He's not hard, he's low level. Obviously, he's not going to be that hard regardless. I just want to talk a little bit more about the Sergeant, whatever his name is, fight. The Corpus one specifically. We already have a fight that's kind of similar like that, except he's actually got a little bit of depth to him. And I'm not saying that's a good fight. The Grineer one is definitely better than the Corpus. And then you get to fight the Grineer one again, but with Vor. Two bosses you've already seen at this. So that just adds an extra layer of depth slash lore slash, you know, world building. But the Corpus guy, you honestly have no reason to give a fuck who he is. You don't really know, like, why he's there. Like, there's probably some lore, and I don't know the lore behind him specifically. But he's such a bad boss slash character place. Let's, you know, jump back to when I started playing Warframe 2016, you know, struggling to get through the game, struggling to get through the star chart, struggling, right? Just absolutely in the thick of it. And the one thing I do have to state before I bring this next point up is, you know, you'll play all these boring, repetitive missions on the star chart, which that's a topic for another video. I do want to cover that as well in one of these kind of discussion videos. But I want to talk about how you look forward to a boss fight. Like, I'm gonna take a game I play a lot of, like Dark Souls. You make your way through your level and you're like, holy shit, that was hard. I can only imagine what the boss is like. You're not usually bored. You're not, like, annoyed. You know, I know this game's nothing like Dark Souls, but, like, you look forward to a boss fight. I'm pretty sure any game that you play that has a boss into it, the biggest game that Warframe is compared to is Destiny 2. And every boss that you kill, there's a reason, there's a purpose, there's a story implication, there's depth, there's a, like, you want to kill the boss, you know? You know, Sergeant whatever the fuck, Corpus Face. I can't remember his name because he's that forgettable. I just wouldn't even have put the boss there in the first, because there's great bosses, like, just to list off a few. I'm about to do the Oro Worm. You know, obviously all the Eidolons are pretty fun. The spiders can be fun. Now, I just want you to see a pattern here. Like, the reason I mentioned Warframe's weird boss quality, because even the Archon fights are decently fun, especially the ending cutscene. I love going to do, you know, my Archon sortie every week, and then everybody's fighting over getting that last animation of you ripping the fucking Archon shard out of the fucking guy. You know, even Trinity's boss fight, like, honestly, watching that, you know, I did a video on this, and watching the plane explode in the distance is also really epic. Like, it's shit like that. Like, Warframe just has a weird boss quality. Now, obviously, the way to fix this is, like, and when, like I mentioned, when you get to the end of the game, you want to kill the boss. The idea is you want to do all this stuff, right? You look forward to it. You're like, an assassination? Fuck yeah. You know? But I can't say that about more than half the Star Chart bosses. It's really nice to see what Warframe can do, but a lot of the players aren't going to stick around to see what Warframe has to offer in the sense of a cool boss fight, because it just takes too long to get to the good parts of the game. Now, I know Warframe is and has been working on the new player experience, but a big one needs to start with the missions and the beginner boss fights. I know they worked on Vor, I know they worked on the Jackal. The Jackal is not even a bad boss fight. They don't necessarily need to be hard to be fun. Like I said, obviously this game isn't Dark Souls, but they just need to have more depth. They need to give me a reason to care. Maybe if they make I'm not going to bitch about the shitty bosses without providing a way to kind of fix it. Like I said, for an incentive, a big one would be make a quest. Make a quest where it includes all planet bosses, So that includes like the Ropolo list, nothing on like the open worlds, just planet bosses. Make a quest and get a reward, give us some blueprints, like some of the new players some blueprints for killing all these bosses at least once, and even old players just to go back and kill these bosses one more time to help all these new players out. But before you go into the mission, Lotus gives you a little backstory and how he became what he is, you know. Obviously, you learn the lore of the Grineer, but how he got to his lieutenant position, why he's a bad guy, why we need to kill him. Because up until that point, you're just like, go kill this guy, right? You don't even know why we're killing him, we just have to kill him. To kill every world boss, giving a backstory, giving a reason, giving them some depth, giving me a reason to kill them other than the fact of just go there, kill this. And I also want to bring up the damage annuentation, or whatever it's called, on bosses. That is not the answer to make bosses harder. That is just artificial difficulty that equals not fun. Nor are the invincibility phases. So instead of giving us invincibility phases, they decide to give us the damage negation. Now, another thing I want to mention about like the Sergeant specifically is he doesn't even feel like a boss. You go there and you know he is a boss, but after you kill him, you're like, damn, that was easy. I want to feel like I'm in an assassination. I want to feel the environment. I want to feel, and I'm not shitting on every boss in Warframe because there are lots of good ones, but if you want to keep player retention and new players around, you have to give them a reason to want to play the game. Because it's kind of like, I'm bringing back up Dark Souls here, but like the next boss could always be cooler. Like obviously not every boss is going to be a hit, but some of them need to be updated. Or you could make logs on these people. Like a Lad V, for example, could have a lot of cool different logs just because, you know, because of his lore, making Zanuka and then becoming part of the Infested for a bit. And that's been the talk for this video. I want to know your guys' thoughts and opinions on your least favorite boss and your favorite boss and what you guys also think. And yeah, it's been that Fat Worthless piece of shit you all love, Nimrizix. I'm out. Peace.